y'all. It's Zai here with the Commander Network. Welcome to episode 9 of The Passion Tea, where we explore the lives and careers of Caribbean and African women. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like the content on this channel. Today's guest is a sex and gender-based violence first responder in Lagos, Nigeria. Dorinda Odonghanro currently works for the Coalition of Civil Society to End Child Marriage. The coalition receives part of their funding from Girls Not Brides. Girls Not Brides is a global network of more than 1,600 civil society organizations from over 100 countries committed to ending child marriage and ensuring girls can reach their full potential. Though she currently works with young people in the Lagos area, Dorinda hopes to eventually widen her focus to helping girls all across Nigeria. She wants to raise awareness about the dangerous health outcomes for child brides and push for more global partnerships. Please join me in welcoming Dorinda Odonghanro. Dorinda, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you doing?
I am doing well, thank you. I'm so glad to have you on today. And it's interesting that we are having this discussion about girl brides right now as we are in the middle of Mental Health Awareness Month. We know that girls who are married off earlier are at a greater risk of depression and other mental health issues. And suicide is also rising or finally being accurately documented in child brides, mainly in Iran and Syria. But today we are talking about the impact of child marriages in Nigeria and the work you are doing with Girls Not Brides to end this harmful practice. Dorinda, tell us about Girls Not Brides and how you became involved with the organization.
All right. Girls Not Bride is an international non-governmental organization that their major focus is on ending child marriage. It is the global movement for ending child marriage.
Mhm.
Um, they have coalitions in several countries in order to bring this practice of child marriage, which is a harmful human practice, to a stop. Now, I actually got connected with Girls Not Bride through I was going through a friend's profile and then status actually, and I saw this advert on volunteering to be a gender advocate to
Mhm.
ending child marriage in Nigeria, and I got interested because it's part of my work. I specialize in sexual and reproductive health and rights,
Okay.
and one of the focus is child marriage.
Mhm.
Interested, and then I sent in my application, and although they are implementing the project through another non-governmental organization, CYPF, that's Child and Youth Protection Foundation.
Mhm.
So they were the actually did the posting and of the volunteer position, and I applied, and they got months later, I think 2 or 3 months later, they got across to me asking me to send in my CV and all that, which I did, and I was invited over for okay. We actually had a GTA meeting
Mhm.
in preparation for the main GTA meeting that was held in Abuja in Nigeria because I am presently in Lagos, Nigeria. So I was
Okay.
invited over for that GTA meeting, and that was where I met with the coalition of civil societies organization in Nigeria on ending child marriage. And I actually got to be fully involved because I got a practical understanding of what child marriage was,
Mhm.
how deep yeah, it has eaten into my country. And I really didn't have a solid knowledge of child marriage. But when I got to that seminar, I got to understand a whole lot. Like, for example, I was made to understand that for over 20 years,
Mhm.
the issue of marriage, there has been no significant difference. That means
Yep.
everything that has been done for over 20 years is like nothing is being done. The
Right.
issue. So it dawned on me that a whole lot needs to be done to safeguard the future of girls, of young girls, because child marriage affects girls mostly. Yes,
Mm.
boys are affected, but the percentage is higher as far as girls are concerned. So I got really, because personally, I love to work with adolescent girls. I
Yes.
also work with boys, but I get more attracted to adolescent girls. So I said no, I have to do something. I can't just sit down and stare at the situation. My country is listed among the country with the highest rate of child marriage in the world, not just in Africa. So
That's
it dawned on me I have to do something for my country to be mentioned for good and not just for evil. So
mhm.
I started doing so many activities with Girls Not Bride and Child and Youth Protection Foundation and the coalition of civil society organization in Nigeria on ending child marriage. So that was how I got fully involved in advocacy to ending child marriage. But my primary, where I work right now, I work as a first responder for sexual and gender-based violence. I know
Okay.
there's a link between sexual and gender-based violence and child marriage.
Yes.
And the simple link is that a child who is forced into child marriage is
Yes.
prone to experience gender-based violence.
Yep. There was an opinion piece last week in CNN Africa by a Somalian psychotherapist named Layla Hussein, and it was about female genital mutilation. And
Yeah.
she was talking about her personal experience of dealing with female genital mutilation. And something that she said in the article was that the most vulnerable group is the African girl child who is the most I'm sorry, the most vulnerable group is the African girl child who is often denied fundamental rights such as education and healthcare. Can you tell me
Yeah.
what does that mean to you?
Now, education and healthcare, they
Mm,
are two human rights that nobody should be deprived of.
that's right.
Now, most time, if you notice our advocacy, the advocacy I do, we go
Mhm,
down to schools to advocate these girls because we understand that if they know the importance of education,
mhm.
they'll be able to go far in life.
Yeah.
Now, educated, if a girl is properly educated, you cannot bring the issue of child marriage to her. She will tell you, I have a future.
Yes.
I want to be. So, child marriage is not my focus at the moment.
Mhm.
But when you don't give your consent, your human right is being violated. And when that is done, and you're well educated about the fact that there are some authorities you can actually report to
Mm,
fight for your, then you are able to do that. That is education. That's why we go down to the schools. We try to let these girls know their right and know that this is our number. These are authorities you can reach out to if you're being forced into marriage or you're being forced into doing what you don't want to do and you know is against your human right.
mhm.
In terms of education. Now, coming to health. Now, one of the consequences of child marriage is obstetric fistula.
Mm,
Now, most of these girls, their body is not matured enough. Research have shown that the body of a girl is matured from the age of 18 to 20 to be able to carry out proper reproduction.
yes.
Now, a girl who is forced into marriage, in some cases, you see a girl of like 8, 10, 12. Your body is not matured enough. Like I do tell my students when I sensitize them, you're
Mhm.
supposed to be thinking of how to do your assignments, how to play with your mates, how to do a lot of things, but you're being forced into marriage, and overnight you become a wife,
Mm,
and then all of a sudden you discover you're pregnant, you're about to be a mother. Now, most of the cases of child marriage happens in family that are poor
yes.
because easily cajoled into forcing their child into child marriage.
Mhm,
Now, them do not have access to good and quality healthcare.
mhm.
And if you look at it, another consequences of child marriage is death.
Yes.
They do not have access to quality healthcare, and at the end of the day, they get pregnant,
Mhm.
no proper prenatal care, no, they don't go for antenatal. Even after birth, there's no postnatal care and all that. At the end of the day, this girl might die before birth, during birth, or
Yeah.
after. And even their children, there's this statistic that says that the child might not even be able to live up to the first birthday.
Mhm.
The girl is still a baby. She can't take care of herself. How is she going to take care of the baby she just gave birth to?
Yes.
It's a whole lot of devastating situation at the end of the day. So if the girls have good access to quality education and good and quality education and also good and quality healthcare, these two are major human rights that every girl must have access to be able to live up to their potential. You're educated and then you have good healthcare. It is only somebody who has good health that can actually live a good life.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not healthy, no matter what is placed in front of you, you will not be able to give your best.
That's
You will
right.
not be that life that you want to live. So education is key. Education empowers the girls. It gives them their voice, makes them know their right, and then good healthcare puts them in a position to be able to use that power that the education has given to them to be able to possess their possession and live a good life.
I know you said you work in Legos. That is your work focused on uh traveling, taking you all across Nigeria, or are you just centered on one key region at the time at the moment?
Okay, presently I am focused in Lagos,
Yes, Lagos.
but what I do is I try to get across to girls in Lagos.
Mm.
I leverage on already existing, especially in this area, in this issue of as far as child marriage is concerned. I try to focus on already existing structures because I work with the civil coalition of civil societies organization in Nigeria.
Okay.
So we have organizations that are already handling child marriage. So
Hmm.
I try to get across to them and tell them I am a volunteer in Girls Not Bride and this is what we do. I am available to come work with you.
Yes.
Because most my motivation is not about, yes, we know money is good and all that. It makes your movement easy. But my motivation is not just the money. My
Mm.
motive is seeing these girls become who they ought to be. That is
Yes.
my motive. When I go out for sensitization and I'm able to pass the message across to the girls, I see the excitement in their faces. And at the end of the sensitization session, I see these girls calling me and saying, please, I have a question to ask.
Mm.
I, I feel excited that, wow, these girls trust me so much to talk to me.
Yes.
I try to, like, presently I'm collaborating with Bella Foundation in Nigeria.
Okay.
The she's into child marriage and sexual and gender-based violence. So
Hmm.
presently she's going around schools doing sensitization on child marriage, and she got across to me and said, "Okay, fine, you're a gender advocate on ending child marriage in Nigeria. I would want you to join me so we do the sensitization together." So I've been working with her to do the sensitization. So that's what I do. Provided, okay, I might not be really buoyant enough to go around myself, do it alone. If the
Yeah.
organization is willing to say, okay, we are ready to pay for your flight ticket, pay for your accommodation and all that, I am ready to move anywhere in Nigeria,
Yeah.
provided my mission is accomplished. I'm ready to go. In short, I'm ready to go around the world as far as
Mm.
this issue is concerned. I'm ready to go around the world. But in order for me to be able to do that, I also need people to support my movement. I
Yeah.
can't do it alone. I just can't do it alone. So I need people to support me. If I get people anyone that calls me to say, Dorinda, I want you to come over, even if you tell me I want you to come over to the UK,
Yeah.
as far as you're ready to pay my bills, proceed.
You're going. Yes.
So that's it. Yeah.
You said that you get girls who contact you after you have done lessons with them and they have additional questions. It's good to hear that the young ladies are following up with you because sometimes they may be in environments within their households where they're not able to have those type of conversations, or they can have it in one environment, but it's not we have not brought a lot of families or the older generation up to speed with realizing that it has to start at home, and we cannot just solely rely on outside community members to solely do the work. What kind of feedback have you gotten from families, from older family members, if any, about how they feel regarding you having conversations with young children about child marriages.
Okay, presently I haven't really had any feedback from parents
Okay.
because I've not had a one-on-one discussion with them.
Mm,
Fine, that is part of what I intend to do, but
mm,
like I said, I can't do it alone.
yes.
And so I start with the girls to know their rights and I make them understand that you can also carry out this advocacy in your home to
Mhm.
your parents, to your friends, to your neighbors, and all that. But with time, one thing I look forward to doing is collaborating with the civil society organization coalition in Nigeria on ending
Mm,
child marriage, other organizations that are into this, where we can get down to households. I can
yes.
invite in, get them to get to talk with them. We do a one-on-one, a focus group discussion with them. We
Mm,
also have more like a family visit. We can come to your house, visit you, discuss. Because most African parents, okay, let me come down to Nigeria.
mhm,
Most Nigerian parents, they really don't see this as an issue. Why should I be this
mhm.
with my daughter? Or why
Yeah,
should I be this with my children? So they need a whole lot of sensitization, enlightenment to know that this is key. It's very important. Because
mm,
when these girls, they know their rights, nobody can easily cajole them into doing what they don't want to do.
yep,
Because they know that I have my parents standing by my side. I have the law standing by my side. I have a gender advocate called Dorinda who is ready to fight for me.
that's right.
So enlightened about all this is going to make the girls stand up for their rights and want to make a difference.
Mhm,
Some of when I speak with them, you get some interesting things they tell me. I want to be this, I want to be this, I love doing this, I love doing this. But my parents are telling me no. I have to give them some tips on what to do in
mm,
order not to get on the toes of their parents and also to fulfill their destiny.
mm,
So it's a thing we have to sensitize the girls and also sensitize their parents because
yes,
these are the people they are living with. They
yeah.
can't make complete decisions on their own without the consent of their parents.
Interesting. Aisha Buhari, the wife of President Muhammadu Buhari, published a book last year in which she identified herself as a victim of a child marriage. Um, Aisha Buhari married the president at 18 years old, but we know there are girls uh, getting married even younger than that. Sudan, as
Yes,
an example, yep, in the former regime in Sudan, uh, girls were married off by their fathers as young as 10 years old.
yes, yes.
10 years old. Um, and some people would assume that the high rates of child marriages in places like Sudan and Nigeria derive from specific religious beliefs. I think that's why some people may they may tend to associate child marriages with, oh, well, that's maybe due to, with someone but their religious beliefs. But there is the economic component, as you mentioned earlier. Can you talk about what regions in Nigeria should we be highly concerned regarding the prevalence of child marriages? Where do you find the highest number of child marriages in Nigeria?
Okay, well, in Nigeria, the highest number of child marriage is coming from the north,
Mhm.
actually. And that boils down to these cultural and religious beliefs and background and all that. But we also know that other places in Nigeria are experiencing child marriage.
Mhm.
In like for in the north in Nigeria, you at least hear cases of adolescent pregnancy leading to child marriage.
Yes.
They make them get married and then they give birth in the marriage.
Mm,
But like in the south and all that, most cases of child marriage that occurs, it happened due to, adolescent pregnancy and child marriage are closely and dangerously linked. So
mhm.
a girl gets pregnant at a very young age. And then in Nigeria, they have this mentality of, oh, you want to bring shame to the family. You went out all the way out to get pregnant. You have to go and get married to the man or to the boy,
Yes.
whether you need to get married or not, as far as you're pregnant. go and get married.
Mm.
So from in this region, in the southern region, you see cases of adolescent pregnancy leading to a case of child marriage. But in
Oh,
the north, you have cases of parents who willingly give their children out due
yeah.
to religious beliefs, the cultures, and all that. So, like one thing I've come to understand is the fact that because of the different beliefs in the
Hmm.
different geopolitical regions in Nigeria, the way you handle child marriage matters a lot.
Yes.
Now, someone who has this cultural belief, this religion that he has been holding on to for years, and you're
Mm.
trying to make him understand this practice is harmful to this girl. You can't just walk up to the person overnight and tell him you have to stop this practice, and you think he's going to listen to you just like that and change. It takes a whole lot. It takes a whole lot of advocacy. It takes a whole lot of sensitization, a whole lot of patience to
Yes.
be able to get down to the root and make them understand that these are the consequences. And you have to have your facts. Do
Hmm.
a lot of research. Let them see people that have gone through this child marriage in the past, the consequences they are facing, and try to relate it to the present age and time and make them see reasons why they should stop the practice. And
That's right.
we have to be patient. It's not something that can happen all of a sudden.
Hmm.
That's why the CSOs are doing a lot of job. The NGOs are doing a lot of work in Nigeria. Even the government is trying, but it seems like nothing is being done because it's not. We cannot get the result that we seek just immediately.
Yeah,
It definitely will take time.
it
Work
will.
is going, but it will take time. So we have to keep pushing, we have to keep talking, we have to keep doing advocacy, meeting the gatekeepers, meeting the community leaders, meeting the traditional rulers, religious rulers, making them to understand that this is our goal. We are not trying to say your religion, your culture is bad or anything, but we are trying to make you understand that there are some things that we should let go of in order
Yes.
for this in order for these girls to live a good life. Because most times, most of the traditional religions and all that, they affect mostly the women.
Yes.
The negativity is more on the women.
Yep.
So when we make them understand these things and we keep going, we keep talking, we don't relent. Sometimes it can look like, it's like nothing is going to happen. But when we keep pushing, we keep talking, like I do say, keep talking and never stop talking,
Yes.
we are going to get a good result. Like I was privileged to meet a child marriage survivor.
Mm. Really?
She was excited because she had the first-hand experience of
Yeah.
child marriage, and her case was a case of adolescent pregnancy, and she was forced into the marriage.
Mm.
And unfortunately, because she lost the baby along the way,
Hmm.
consequences of she lost the baby after giving birth. And at the end of the day, things became worse. The husband turned on her,
Hmm.
gender based violence stepped in. And then after everything, she had to, she felt like she has lost her life
Mm.
until Bella Foundation found her. And then they told her, you can still go back to school. They took up, Bella Foundation and her partners, they took up our educational responsibilities, and she's back in school.
Hmm.
She's doing well for herself. So those are stories that we can actually leverage on to speak to these traditional rulers, to make them understand that the outcome at the end of the day is not something that we want to experience.
Yes. That's right.
Because definitely they wouldn't want their child to go through any form of trauma, any form of pain because of child marriage.
That's right.
Yes, our forefathers, they made mistakes, our ancestors made mistakes. We should be able to change those mistakes and make amends
That's
moving
right.
forward.
That's right. And that's the key for us to acknowledge it as a mistake, as something that just because that was a tradition of the past does not mean that we should force future generations to continue with a practice that is dangerous and prevents them from creating the best lives that they deserve to live. Can I ask you, Dorinda, what is your greatest hope for young Nigerian children?
Wow, I love that question. Okay, I'm one person that believes that Nigeria is a great nation and There's nothing you tell me about Nigeria, negative about Nigeria that I believe.
Yep.
I don't, in short, people say a lot of negative things about Nigeria and all that, but I don't see it. I
Mhm.
only see the future that Nigeria has. I only see other nation coming into Nigeria to say, how did you do it? We want to learn from you. Now, talking about the Nigerian child, when I am working with a Nigerian child, I've got to understand that they are very intelligent.
Mhm.
All they need is an enabling environment to be able to do the right thing. They
That's
just
right.
need they need the right guidance.
Yes.
They just need you to allow them make their decisions.
Mhm.
Make them know that yes, we are right behind you. Make the decision and we'll guide you. Don't impose it on them.
That's right.
So Nigerian children are so intelligent that they'll tell you, I know I can do this.
Yes.
You
Yes.
you might feel you can't do it, you're too young, but they're telling you I can.
Mm.
Now, when I go to those sensitizations, I ask them questions. The way they answer me, I know these children, they just need to be tutored and to be
Mhm.
great. And then sometimes you allow them make mistakes.
Mhm.
And then you tell them, learn from your mistakes, right?
Yep.
And you guide them through the right path. You don't allow them make mistakes because you want to make mockery of them. No. You allow
Mm.
them make that mistake because you want them to learn from the mistake.
That's
Now, when they get to that particular stage again, they know that no, this is not the path to follow. This is the right path to follow. So it's not actually right to always force your decision on children. And that's what most people experience in Nigeria. So
Mhm.
if the Nigerian parent and the Nigerian guardian can understand the fact that children they have intelligent ideas, but because of their youthful exuberance, because of their childish nature, they tend
Mhm.
to do it the wrong way sometimes. That's why we are there. That's why parents are there to guide them. So when they are guided right, you will see the Nigerian child doing great things. Now they're already doing great things. They go
Yes.
for competitions. We see them going for competitions, going for essays. And then one thing I also have learned when a child is motivated into doing something, maybe sporting activity or any academic activity, and the child didn't emerge as the best, we should be able
Mhm.
to encourage the child for the effort to come out to say, I want to do this.
That's right.
Okay, like on Wednesday, I went for a sensitization and I asked the question. A little girl raised up her hand and she gave me a totally wrong answer. It
Mm.
was completely out of what I said. But I did not just say, no, your answer is wrong. But I was like, wow, you
Mm.
actually didn't get the answer. But I love your courage. Everybody, a round of applause for her. An organization that is fighting so hard to provide a sustainable environment for the Nigerian child who I'm volunteering with. They're actually in Abuja,
Yeah.
Nigeria, and I'm in Lagos. I don't see distance as a barrier as far as my volunteering is concerned.
Mhm.
So I volunteer with them. And if CYPF, for example, is doing his bid, Bella Foundation is doing ours, the command her is doing us. Let's imagine you're in Nigeria. You're doing yours. The government is doing it. You're doing yours. I am doing mine. At the end of the day, when the Nigerian child turns to the right, he sees people supporting him. Turns
Yeah.
to the left. Everywhere you turn, you have people supporting you. You want to be a great person because you have that mentality of, okay, growing up, people supported me. I need to pay back by supporting those who are coming behind me.
That's
So
right.
it's not something we start preaching about. It's something that becomes your mindset because of where we have found ourselves. That is when we create an enabling environment. And that is part of what I am trying to do. So I don't see negative in Nigeria. I see the Nigerian child getting to the topmost top in the
That's
nearest
right.
future.
Well, that's right, Dorinda. That optimism is going to take Nigerian youth very far, and any child that has the opportunity to learn under you is going to be highly blessed and very lucky because your passion and your drive is just inspirational. For those who may be listening and want to get involved after hearing this thought-provoking conversation, how can people get involved with Girls Not Brides, and where can we find you on social media to keep up with all your work?
Okay, if you actually want to get across to Girls Not Bride, you can visit their website. Just click on Girls Not Bride and you're able to get there. But if you want a direct link, I don't mind. You can check on me on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram. And on Facebook, it's just my name, Odonghanro Dorinda. Odonghanro. Just type that. You will find me on Facebook. And if you type same Dorinda, you find Dorinda on Instagram. You find Odonghanro Dorinda on Twitter. My Twitter angle is at OTLees underscore Dawn. Dorinda at OTLees Dawn. That is it. So if you just type my name, you'll be able to find me. If you can type my name, you can find me. Or you can even send me a mail. ODONGHANRODORINDA@gmail.com. My full name at gmail.com.
Okay.
I'll reply. Immediately I see, I'll reply.
Okay.
So if you want to partner, you have any activity you want to involve in or you want to support, you can actually get across to me. Definitely give you a link, maybe to Girls Not Bride or to Bella Foundation or to CYPF. These are people I've really worked with. And then we can be sure that we'll make good use of your resources. Okay. And you get a good report at the end of the day.
Okay. Well, I will definitely have all your information available for everyone in the description box and in the comments. Dorinda, I have enjoyed our conversation today. I look forward to having you back on so we can talk more about eradicating child marriages. And I'm just happy with the work that you're doing. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And I look forward to coming back again.
Child marriages are just one of many obstacles that prevent Nigerian girls from reaching their maximum potential. As Dorinda stated, child marriage rates are significantly higher in the northern region. Dorinda's passion for educating Nigerian youth about knowing their worth, coupled with her determination to bring the larger community into the conversation, will only help to make Nigeria a safer place for all women. Thanks for watching. If you would like to join the fight in helping to eradicate child marriages, check the description box and the comments for more information. I'll see y'all next time.